What's going on? It's your boy Larry Philly Carter. You can catch up with me at Mr. Carter ATL on Instagram, or you can follow my blog on YouTube, Philly World. Make sure you, while you're on Instagram, follow Culture Clubb ATL. All right, I'll see you there.
All right, so everybody who is anybody that watches the Culture Clubb has been asking for Dontez. Where is Dontez? Is he not coming back? Well, the last filming that we did, he was asleep because we did an early taping. So that was like almost a month and a half ago, probably almost 2 months ago. We haven't seen each other as a group, as Culture Clubb. So we're back now. 2 or 3 days ago, Dontez hit everybody up in the group chat and stated that he will no longer be a part of Culture Clubb. And I'm assuming that it's for right now, because the way that our conversation went was, at this point in life, in his particular life, he doesn't see it fit for him to continue to be a part of Culture Clubb. Now, we all know that Dontez we all know where his background came from as far as doing video or even putting his life out there like that. So it was a dramatic challenge for him, as you can tell from the beginning episodes, and then he kind of like found his niche with it and got comfortable. Kept it going, so now I got to slide in here.
I thought she was about to
straight
go underneath the table.
You got a lot of stuff in your pockets. I mean, your pockets look very full. Good job.
So what we're gonna do is say your name and a truth and a lie. That's how we'll start it off. So try to think of that, because I know it's gonna take y'all a little minute.
So we gotta figure out which one is the truth or the lie, or just
After everybody says what they say, then yeah, we'll
you gotta figure out what the
discuss it.
truth is and what the lie is.
Let me
Okay.
ask you a question. Is this the previous episode we just shot was going to air before this one?
Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, because now it's going to be that I'm gay. But,
Yeah, we already,
Look at a serious dimple on this side.
Oh, I was facing, I was on this side, right?
Yes, I never saw it, so now I see it. Good lord.
It's like a crater on my face.
Hey, how you guys doing out there? What's going on? Thank you for tuning in to AK Nation TV. The one here on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our obvious differences. Welcome to Culture Clubb. Like we do on every episode, we're going to reintroduce ourselves starting from our left to our right. State your name and one truth.
That's not how it usually goes. That's not how it usually goes. But I get it. That's good.
Say one truth and a lie. You know, this is one of the well-known icebreakers when you get in a little group setting or whatever. There usually is 2 truths and a lie, but because we don't have that much time, we're going to say one truth and one lie, and then after everybody says it, we'll try to figure out what was the truth and the lie.
Oh, man. Hi, my name is Levi Eric.
And he thought he had a lot of time.
I have a cat. I have a dog.
What's up? I have a cat. I have a dog. Okay.
Hey, my name is David. I'm married. I'm divorced.
Hi, I'm Timothy Richardson. I can tie a cherry stem with my tongue in under 20 seconds. I love black coffee.
Okay. And remember your truth and a lie so we can talk about it afterwards. I'm Wesley. Let's see. I hung out with Lady Gaga and I have 2 sisters.
My name is Olivia. I'm a gold star. And I read at least 2 books a day.
My name is Christian. I've been slapped 15 times by the same person in the same day. And I'm a swim coach.
Okay. I'm Larry Carter. I'm still at a loss for this. I have 18 tattoos, and I went to high school for 3 years.
So someone told me that this game also allows you to know who can easily lie and who cannot. If people hesitate before responding, then that seems to mean that they're not good at lying. So I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm gonna say that cherry stem thing was for the ladies, because that's something about you working your tongue in between the on the lunch meat. That's what
I said lunch meat.
Vagina looks like lunch meat to me.
Oh!
If you just roll up some turkey
Oh my God!
have it at the end of your bread, that's what the vagina looks like. So it looks like lunch meat.
I don't know what vagina looks like.
That is bold and blunt.
If we're releasing the truth, yes, I can tie a cherry stem with my tongue. Just put that out there.
All right. So he likes to lick lunch meat.
I do.
Okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right.
Little Arby's burger.
All right.
I love how they're all coming up with like different analogies for this right now.
I'm just saying.
It's actually a very beautiful thing too. And
Thank
it's like you're just like lunch meat, man. Lunch meat.
Okay. So, David, what do you think is the truth or lie for Levi?
I think
It's hard. He has a cat, he has a dog?
does not have a cat.
Am I supposed to rebuild this?
Yes.
Oh. Yes, I have a dog.
All right.
I win. What's my consolation prize?
What do you think is the truth for Larry?
Me? Did you say Olivia?
No,
You can go ahead and answer.
Wait.
no,
what were
he's got the
yours?
18 tattoos.
Oh, the 18.
I actually
I believe the 18 tattoos
Yeah.
feels right to me.
Yeah.
No, I went to high school for 3 years. I have 15 tattoos.
That's so close to
Yeah, I was
the
going
truth.
to say
All right.
I was like, you know, the Black
Graduated
Scholars
early?
Matter. You graduated early. Okay, that's cute. So that's why.
What do you think is his truth?
Couldn't think of anything.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I forgot.
Forgot.
The first one.
He got
He
slapped
stole
15
one
times
50 times in the
in one
same
day.
day.
My same
got
person.
Because he was like reeling in it, like, and in the same day.
I believe that's true.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
Because I believe it's like an
That
actor
sounded like
thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if he got smacked 15
Like 15
times.
times.
That
in the
came from a
same
place
day.
of like experience. So
Right. Which one is right?
So specific.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Why did you let this person slap you 15 times? Or is it was like a child or something?
Well, look, in the business of acting, you're going to get touched, okay? If you're afraid to touch somebody, kiss somebody, get slapped, fall on the ground, you're in the wrong business. So,
After
I
about
took one for the team.
After about 10 slaps, you get me a body double.
I need a couple
The
of
shit out of an acting class. That's
Okay.
actually true.
Okay. Larry, what do you think about Olivia is true?
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't remember. I was trying to think of the
I
lie.
know.
I'm
That I was
sorry.
a gold star was the first one, and then the second one was I read 2 books a day.
To completion or
So that can't be
clarified.
That shit can't be true.
Like, maybe. I would say your gold star.
No, I'm not a gold star.
Oh, you read 2? Well, that's
I read 2
awesome.
books a day.
That's good.
Not to completion, though.
Yes, I do. I
To
read 2 books a
completion?
day. That should make your question. How big? But I'm reading 2
Zeus books.
Oh god.
Church pamphlets, you know.
Coloring books. That's funny. He said
It might be a big book and a small book, but I read to completion. It might be a big book, it might be a small book, it might be 2 small books or whatever. But I really need to get my mind
That's good.
going.
That's interesting. Okay. David, what did you say again? I can't remember what you said.
I said I'm married.
And you're divorced.
And
You're divorced. You're divorced. Divorced for $3,000.
I'm mad her mother had like the positive upbeat thing.
And what do you think about mine?
Wait, was that right though?
Child, I lied about both. I hate that topic.
So you're not married or divorced?
No, I ain't never been married a day in my life.
Oh shit.
This topic was dumb. Okay.
So does that
Was
mean
the
that
topic dumb?
does that mean that he could really lie though?
But look how long it took.
No, that doesn't count.
Now, I'll leave y'all to
It
think
took
about
me a long
that.
time to come up with my truth, but it took me 5 seconds to come up with the lie.
Well, that means that you. Never
That
mind.
means you could.
You're a good liar.
Whatever.
So what do you think? What do you think about mine? Do you remember what I said? I hung out with Lady Gaga. And
You hung out with Lady Gaga.
Okay. All right.
She's the only.
Yeah, I hung out with Lady Gaga. I
Right.
don't have to
Because
say.
the other one was
Nobody
I got a brother.
else is guessing that.
I only have one sister. Nicki Minaj is apparently
Relevant
been
Relevant
blacklisted
again.
in
She
the
was relevant
entertainment
So relevant one more
I
time.
mean, I don't. That's a strong word.
Very strong word.
What's a strong word?
Blacklisted.
Or at least that's what I've just read in a new article. The reason why I say that is because she has 2 songs with Uzi Vert and Quavo, and Quavo and Uzi Vert are on Atlantic Records, and apparently Atlantic doesn't want any new Nicki Minaj songs to come out because Cardi B is on Atlantic Records. So,
I know they were signed to the same label.
No, they're not. She's
not
on
Nicki
Atlantic.
Minaj
Oh,
and
she's
not on
Cardi B.
Atlantic.
Okay, so
But
it's Nicki Minaj.
She's on
Quavo
Universal.
and Uzi Vert is on Atlantic, and Cardi B is on Atlantic. So
It's not
Atlantic is like.
blacklisted. That's pushing something because you needed to
So
make money.
that's what I wanted to talk about. Do you feel like that makes sense? Do you feel like we should do this to artists? Like if I'm the company head and I'm like, well, I don't want. If you did a feature with this person over here, that's great. But I kind of want to focus on this new girl that we have on the record label.
Yes.
So let's keep her pushing,
Yes.
and we'll shelve this music for right now.
Yes, secure the bag.
What do you think, Larry?
I think that's interesting because not just is it shelving Nicki, but it's shelving the artist that she works for. Because if you look at her career, her features are usually like topping the charts. So basically, it's not just a good look for her, but it's a good look for the artist she's featured on. Because if you Young Gotti, like he really wasn't a household name until that song, and because she was on it and people know her. So it kind of like they're kind of shooting the other artists in the foot for Cardi's, I guess, success. But I think she would be good regardless.
Not necessarily, because they can just say, okay, put Cardi B on the song.
But they already paid for Nicki's verse, so therefore that means their budget will be taxed twice.
Tis true.
I didn't know about who paid who, nothing. I like Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, make sure you read your contracts. Because if you want to work with different people and this and that, then you got to be independent. Because at the end of the day, like, if you on this label and it looks more favorable, then then that's just how it's going to be. It's about none of this music and all this stuff doesn't come together without money. So where you got to follow the money when you're trying to figure out how you're going to benefit from it. When they put out a song, yeah, they want you to nod your head and bump to it and this and that, but they want to make money too. So that's where it's at the end of the day. We all want to see collaborations. We want to hear this musically. Oh, that would sound really nice, but it's really about making money for the labels.
I agree with what Chris said. I have a personal issue that we'll get to later about my stance with Nicki Minaj off of some stuff that I've heard her say in private rooms. So I'm not really subscribing to Nicki, and I'm okay that she's not getting the coin that she once was.
I think I understand why they're doing it to a certain degree, but I kind of feel like he said, you have other artists, not just Cardi B, on the label that could benefit from the notoriety of having Nicki Minaj on the track. So don't screw me and don't step on my foot because we have this new girl with just one song on the label.
Let's not discount.
Hold on.
Let's not discount. Let's don't do that. Don't do that. Don't discount her one song. Don't do that.
You gotta stop numbers don't lie.
Don't do that. Thank you. Don't do that. Don't discount her.
I'm just saying.
History making song. Don't do
Remember,
that.
we did so well the last episode with the not interrupting. Thank you, baby. So no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was Little Uzi Vert and Quavo, I'll be like, but nah, this song is hot. Let's put it out there. Okay, Cardi B can still do it. Y'all writing this one song for forever. Where's the album? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would feel some sort of way if I was the artist. Now, Nicki Minaj, she can do whatever she wants to do. She's on another label. She's still making money. She's not concerned. But you have to think about all artists. I wouldn't say Nicki Minaj is blacklisted. I'll just say that, unfortunately, Atlantic doesn't want to, or it seems doesn't want to, put her name out there because they got Cardi.
I feel like, well, one, I've never really been a fan of Nicki Minaj, even when she first started. She was a YMCA, I'm a Drake fan. But I feel like with Cardi B, I have respect for Cardi B because, you know what, she literally started off of Instagram and just making videos, and now what record did she set?
The first female hip hop artist with no features since Lauryn Hill.
1990.
But she's the first.
1990. Since 1998. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she had to emphasize that, but she's the first to be consecutive.
How many years?
Because she's had a couple of weeks now at number one.
Right. Yeah, I feel like everything is about riding the wave of promotion. You know, when the whole like Catch Me Outside chick came onto the scene, it's like it makes money. That's what social media is. People are they have malleable minds that, oh, this is what everybody is into. I'm into it as well. I'm not gonna lie, I like Cardi B music. I definitely started jamming to it. One thing I will say is that I'm glad Cardi B came onto the scene because now we actually can look forward to the best female artist at the BET Awards, because I was kind of getting tired of Nicki Minaj winning every year and then throwing shade like she is the best female rapper on the planet, when it's like, no, we just haven't heard somebody else yet. Somebody hasn't like come onto the scene.
And whose fault is that?
Oh no,
just putting that out there.
No, yeah, I mean, no, you're right. So that's the reason why I'm happy for, for Cardi B, so it's like now there's like, I like competition. I like for there to be like, we show up and like, oh, I don't know who's gonna win this category. Because like the men's side is stacked, like, what, anybody could win because they did so well, and then it's like they'll have Nicki Minaj and 4 other people who haven't really put out any music, and it's like, you already know who's gonna win. So, yeah.
That's kind of tough. I like both artists actually. I see why they're fearful of, pushing a Nicki Minaj feature or record on that same label. They want to overshadow Cardi B possibly, but I don't necessarily think that would happen. I think they can both make music at the same time and both do well, and I think they both have shown that by now. So I don't like that they're doing that. I think it's kind of like they're being overly precautious. I don't think it's necessary.
Not privy to all the behind the scenes, but I'm sure there's something else involved, probably some personal drama or some other business drama. But I mean, I see it as a label that has this signed artist who's an upcoming female rapper, so why have another female rapper from a different label on your label shit? So it makes business sense to me. So yeah, that's about it. I personally, I don't really like either one of them. I think
that's basically what you've been trying to say the whole time.
Nicki Minaj is just like bubblegum, pop rap. But Missy Elliott, who is somewhere still out there.
From that at all, though.
But I mean, I don't know. At least the Nicki Minaj that I'm familiar with is just shitty lyrics, bubblegum pop that anyone could do. It's just got a danceable, beat to it, really, is what it is, and she sounds good. But like her actual lyrics aren't anything, are not inspired.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I have to come in. Though I may not necessarily be in Team Nicki right now, I'm never going to discredit her. I'm never going to take anything away from her. Nicki is a beast. She is lyrically a beast. She really is dope to me. She's been dope since she came out some way back in the day when the Come Up DVDs. Like, I don't necessarily like what fame has done to her that has made her where she is today, because she's got too many yes men around her. And you could clearly see that that's changing, you know, who she is, her integrity and all of that. But I will never take anything away from her. She is beast. Nicki's beast, Remy's beast, LaKayle's out there. LaKelly, excuse me, I always say LaKayle. But LaKelly's out there. There's a lot of artists that are out there that are making music. But again, because this is a male-dominated business, you don't hear all of them. So you have to speak to a woman or somebody who's actually in there listening. There's tons of, you know, women, you know, hip-hop artists who are dope out there. LaKelly, I know all of y'all heard, you know, bitch, I got an attitude, somebody got an attitude. That shit is popping. What? And I know every single one of y'all heard it because they bump it in the gay clubs. Yes, they do.
Larry's like,
but I agree with you, and I agree with you where it's like, this always happens where it can only be one. Right. Why does it always have to be one? There's enough space. They don't say, I don't even know, Carrie Underwood can't put out an album because Kelly Clarkson is putting out an album. They're two different people. Like, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are like, their voices sound different, their lyrical content is different, their delivery is different. So why does it only have to be one? And that is what happens in entertainment, is they write the narrative, especially when it comes to black and brown people, where it's like, oh, only one person can shine at a time. And then we follow suit and we tear the other one down, trying to support the person we like the most or whatever. It's like, why not support them all? Why can't everybody be successful? Why can't there be multiple successful female rappers?
I think the lyrics themselves, though, are kind of self-sabotaging because they're the ones that are dissing each other and bringing each other down in their lyrics.
Actually, no,
that's not true. She has never said bad.
There's a lot of diss tracks, like the Missy Elliott, Nicki Minaj diss tracks. Like Nicki Minaj pretty much goes after
so let's
everyone.
be clear. That's part of the culture.
Nicki Minaj does like a self-claiming of like the queen of rap.
Okay, so you, and like I always say, everybody should be proud for who they are, and you should basically say, I am the biggest. Like, I mean, Jay-Z says it all the time. I am the shit. I am the best at this.
And that's another thing.
And do you see that stopping Meek Mill? Do you see that stopping Nas? Do you see that stopping, you know, 2 Chainz, Gucci Man, any of these people who continue to say the same thing? No.
Yeah, well, it's not stopping female rappers, and it's not stopping.
It's always, that's part of the culture. It's competitive. As I'm the best, you can't be better than me.
So
why? Because that same narrative that's set by the label, because if you're not the best, we're not going to push you, we're going to pull your records back. So, and that's the oppressive nature of it, and that's my issue with it, is be like, don't blame the oppressed people that are trying to survive, blame the oppressor. And that's what happens when you oppress people. It's like sometimes they claw to try to be the best.
Okay, let me chime in real quick. I want to zoom out context real quick, okay? We got Nicki Minaj, we got Cardi B, and we got all these other male rappers. So how many other times are there males who want to work together because of their labels they're not able to?
Exactly.
So I think it's just, you know, I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. I think it's just that people are like, oh wow, we have someone who can actually make a difference in what Nicki Minaj is doing, you know, as a rapper. Whereas men have had to sort out and juggle the space with other male rappers and who they can work with for a long period of time. So they're just kind of, I feel like people are just kind of, maybe more, for lack of better words, appreciating the fact that Nicki Minaj is going to be challenged in some areas where she hasn't before. But that's just because, you know, we have 2 big female rappers out right now who can do that.
Do we think that Nicki Minaj should credit herself for making female rap mainstream? Yes or no?
I say yes.
Okay. Chris?
I would say she refreshed it.
I like that approach.
I like the word refresh.
Refreshed.
Yeah.
Because, come on. No.
Yeah, okay. I'm just going to say, is there any other female rapper that has her resume? That's all I'm gonna say.
Little Kim.
I first
At the time of when Little Kim had it. Look, because let's understand that.
Never.
First of all,
Hold on.
no, stop.
Okay,
go down the line, sis.
What's up?
Just
What's
this
up?
time.
What's up?
I first was introduced like women in rapping became solidified when I first ever heard Missy Elliott, and then that's when literally from there like it was Missy for me.
Dang, where are y'all from? That is interesting. Yeah, I mean, she told the truth. Nobody cared about female.
Start recording. We're about to start
The
recording.
thing is, if an historical building stands for 10 to 15 years, are we considering it dead? Like it's still historical. Like nobody forgets its like significance because they know
That part.
They have though. Nobody cared about female rap during that whole stretch.
The problem is that we are stuck in this idea of instant gratification that we have become, accustomed to. That I need to get these dopamines into my system because I feel so good. Everybody's been right.
It's not that. I mean,
It's really. Because he just said that things are dead because we haven't looked at it in 10 years, and I'm saying that we have this instant gratification environment that we've created. So all of your dopamines are on 30 because Nicki Minaj is, invigorated something.
Okay, so we're starting over, and we're starting right now. So I really didn't think that this topic would get so rah-rah. We have a rah-rah over here. I think, you're very rah-rah this whole
Like a dungeon dragon.
Like a dungeon dragon.
I personally feel off camera. I said that I personally feel social media has been the biggest tool that's been propelling a lot of these artists' careers. I said that Bad and Bougie was actually, it was a good song being played on the radio, but it wasn't until Childish Gambino said it at an award ceremony, and then sales increased 200%. So that's what I'm saying. If we take other artists and we give them the same opportunity,
Right.
I mean, I feel like this whole discussion would be
Right.
different.
So here's the close-up question. Here's the close-up question. Hold on. I didn't think Nicki Minaj was gonna really have everybody, go like this. But this is the close-off question to this topic, and then we'll switch gears. Okay. The close-off question is, and please articulate your response in like 1 or 2 sentences. Can Nicki Minaj credit herself with making female rap mainstream?
Yes.
No, because you had tools that were not available to other artists at the time. If you can consolidate your personality into a 60-second clip and it can get retweeted, like that's a different situation than other artists, especially ones who are more lyric focused than personality focused.
All right.
No, what Chris said.
I'm going to say yes, because not too many people of all races can say Missy Elliott, can say Lauryn Hill, can say all of these people's names more so than they'll know a Nicki Minaj song, a Nicki Minaj track, Nicki Minaj clothing, movie that she's been in, whatever.
How old is that person?
When you say mainstream,
and how old is that person?
That's what I'm saying.
And how old is that person
Next.
that you're talking about?
I say no, and I just want to use a quick analogy. Just like it's still in entertainment and it's still in sales. Titanic was the biggest box office movie to ever be created, but Avatar surpassed it because they had IMAX selling tickets. They didn't have IMAX when Titanic came out. It's not saying Avatar was a better movie. It was a great movie.
Come through.
Right?
Yes.
But you had IMAX sales, so of course it's gonna propel it for it.
Come through.
So, yeah.
Thank you. That part.
Yes, she deserves all that credit. Like I said, female rap didn't have a heartbeat while she was popping, so nobody cared. So, I mean, how can you refute that?
I feel like that's inaccurate.
What?
I'm going to say no, just going back to what Tim was saying. What's mainstream now is not what was mainstream 10 years ago because of the advances that we've had in technology. Even like the internet has blown up a lot since then. What's mainstream now is not going to be what mainstream in 10 years, and there's going to be another female rapper who's going to be saying that she made rap mainstream.
Thank you.
In 10 years.
Thank you for leaving it off that way.
So, Black Panther is a new Marvel film that is coming out next year, February. It is starring a A-list ensemble cast.
Everybody's in there.
And I'm uber excited about it because Marvel has been doing a great job with their lineup of movies that they've been releasing, and this will be the first all black cast to be in a superhero film with this major big budget
behind it.
So my question to the panel, and we'll start from the left to the right, is: do you think that it is wise to premiere a movie of this caliber, of this magnitude, in Black History Month next year, February?
Yeah, I think it's a great marketing tool. I don't see what the problem would be in that.
Okay.
I like it. I think it's epic. You know, you got an all black cast. That's so major. It's awesome.
We've always had to be intentional with everything we do, whether it's silent protesting, whether it's or just sending out a message. So I feel like it's very intentional and very smart to have it in February. You're gonna have the blogs that are gonna say like, well, we don't understand why I had to wait. Well, it's like, you'll never understand. It's okay. It's not for you to understand. Yeah. Come opening day, you'll see the majority. You'll see the majority of the race in there, and you'll kind of start to feel spiritually, why it's so significant to us. So.
I'm kind of like, why? I mean, obviously we know why. It's obvious. And I was watching one of the vloggers on YouTube. I cannot remember her name, so I apologize. But she was saying that it's great that we have this first black film. It's great that it's being released. It's made by a black director. It's all of these things are great. Shout out to Marvel. But there's always going to be that fine line. Whenever you talk about race, you're going to have many opinions and many things for people to say. But my whole stance is, okay, all right, this may be a bit extra to release it in February. But, I mean, it's great. But, I mean, really? I don't know. It's kind of like that final jab. Here you go. We finally made a fucking black film, and we're going to release it in Black History Month. There you go. Kind of like, we don't really have to do that. That's what I'm saying.
We got one damn month.
They released the Captain America movie around July 4th.
Next.
Thank you. Okay, so if I'm going to think of it from a financial standpoint, with all of the DC Marvel movies that have happened this year and are set to release, I wouldn't put it in the summertime. I don't want it to compete with the other big summertime movie blockbusters, and I don't want people to compete without having to choose their $15. Because yes, it's about $15 to go to the movies these days. If you want to get like a nice seat and you want to be comfortable, you want to not go get shot. So I don't want it to compete. What else is coming out in that same span of time? Okay, that I know that I'm going to get the major dollar. A, it's cold around the world for the most part, right? So what do people want to do? They want to go to movies. They want to sit inside. They want to cuddle. They want to snuggle. B, there's no other major blockbuster kind of action movie coming out during that time, because the one that is coming out in November. Aren't you excited? I am, for Wonder Woman to come. Yeah.
I'm pretty
Pretty excited. So there's not another DC Marvel comic, kind of action film coming out during that time. So it works. It is a financial move that makes sense. And why not make the blacks happy? Yeah, it works. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Yes, let's put some highlight towards Black History Month, because a lot of times there are a lot of my fellow Americans who are not of the brown persuasion who don't know that February is Black History Month. So why not? Yeah. It's another push for you to recognize, oh, it's Black History Month.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's amazing to see an all-black cast. That's something I'm gonna be like a little kid, like, oh my gosh, they're all-black superheroes.
I'm wearing a dashiki.
I feel. Come on now. I feel like it's. See, this is how y'all do me. Y'all trip me up when I'm doing good. Anyway, so I feel like an all-black cast is something that's very important to see. I think it's very powerful.
I'm trying to record.
Go ahead. I'm over it. We done had a break, came back, and things ain't changed. Come on.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I am.
How can you be a apologetic for something that happens to somebody?
Because I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh my God.
I am. But I think it's great. I think it's a great mixture, making history with the film and Black History Month. I mean, it's a part of Black History, and it'll be a part of Black History. I mean, yeah, I see where you're coming from too. So I can understand that some people will be bothered by that, but hey, yeah, I mean,
Can't please everybody.
Would you feel some sort of way if there was a White History Month established?
You mean the other 11 months out there?
Wait a minute, Chris. You know, Chris.
The shade.
There's Chris, and then there's Shade. So I think the history of the United States has pretty much been telling that narrative. So I feel like there doesn't need to be a White History Month if you're the majority and you kind of like set the tone in the religion and all the other things like that. So no, I think it's very important to see, especially for the youth, to feel inspired. You know, kids have imagination. They need to see and kind of think outside of the box to be able to see Black people doing powerful things. So, yeah.
Would you feel some way, David, if there was a Native American month?
No.
What about you, Levi?
A Native American month? I mean, there should be an American Native month where we talk about how we stole their land and pushed them off their land, killed off the majority of their population, and we should definitely recognize that and put it in accurately in the history books and take time to recognize that and reflect upon that.
Okay. Olivia, would you feel some sort of way if there was a White History Month?
I think it's redundant. It's redundant.
All right.
What are we going to talk about? European history? Because I don't understand or I subscribe to anything that says that there's white history. Because what describe white? What is white? What is white food? What is white? I understand Italian food. I eat it all the time. I understand German food. I understand, Russian food. That's tasty.
I guess technically it would be European history.
So why are we celebrating European history in America?
All right. What are you, as a Black man, what are you looking forward to watching this film, Black Panther?
I'm looking forward to the inspiration, especially being a Black actor. Man, I feel like it's just going to open doors of just creativity for just like the up-and-coming youth to know that, man, I definitely think it's going to set a record in the box office. It's going to be significant because it's going to be like every time Black History Month comes around, that's going to be a topic in, classrooms, performing arts schools.
2018.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing, and it's just going to lay out a blueprint of to me, it's significant just like when Barack Obama became president, it now told me it's like, I can become president. Oh man. Right. So it's just like, there could be an all-Black superhero movie. What? Are you serious? Because all the Marvel is that's what's gonna cause younger actors actually saying their minds well, I can do this. Yeah.
Right. I am so excited. I cannot wait for Black Panther. The full trailer came out last week and it was insane. Oh my God, the fact that the film is so colorful and just enriched in special effects and the action just looks insane. And ever since I found out about Black Panther, and who was playing Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman is a great actor. Lupita Nyong'o is going to be in. Angela Bassett finally gets to be in Marvel and do something that's great. All of these actors are just going to be phenomenal, and I'm super excited about it. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about Black Panther. So on to another Black.
Wait. Can I just say this one thingy?
Sure.
Really? Okay. So I think what's really important is that it highlights the sci-fi / fantasy aspect that happens in the Black community, because a lot of times the masses don't recognize that there are a lot of people who are I'm into anime, I'm into sci-fi, I'm into, fantasy films, and there really hasn't been a market where I can see myself on film.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now to be able to see somebody who looks like me in these, in this genre is like amazing, and that's what's really amazing about it. Not just that it's a superhero and it's, but that I can see somebody who looks like me in this genre.
Like honestly, every one of us. Sorry to leave back. I was gonna say every one of us out here looks like we could have been casted in the movie. Like as a character. It's like I can't look at nobody here and be like, oh no, they could have cast you. They could have cast all of us. So that's what I'm saying. Like that door has just been opened now. So.
Tyrese Gibson has been in the media for a little bit of a lot. Wow, everybody felt a little something when I said that name. Okay. So, he's been in the media for two things. Yelling at The Rock for getting his own spin-off movie and blaming him for pushing Fast and Furious back to 2020, which the original release date was 2019. And his ex-wife, Norma, seems to, not seems to think, but is alleging that he was very abusive to their 10-year-old daughter. So, two topics, two extremely different avenues to go down, but let's start from the right to the left.
I want to challenge you.
I want you to talk about the concept of him going off using social media to show his aggravation to The Rock. What do you think about that?
Well, me personally, when you have a professional beef with someone who you care about and work with, I think it's always important to talk to that person face to face. Social media has become this platform where people think they can say and do things without consequence. And I think that is just like that virtual reality is not reality, because after you leave that virtuality, there's reality. And by you doing this, you have damaged the relationship with someone that you've built. And not just that, but since everybody's watching, people who might be your future employers might not employ you based on your behavior. So you have to think about that as a public figure. Not saying you have to be perfect, because we're all human, we all make mistakes, but there is a sense of judgment calls that you have to make as far as when you speak about people you have worked with and when you have differences. And then two, listen, what you eat don't make me shit. You can't be mad at me because I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? I can't put my money on hold to make sure you're employed. That's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility. So being upset with me that's not really the root of the problem, I'm saying.
Chris, what do you think about using social media to show your aggravation because someone else is being successful?
I think that it's ridiculous to post about like how you feel about another person and put that out there and like send that. I feel like it's a cry for attention, it's a cry for support, and I feel like, if you should reach out to that person directly if that's how you feel. Like when you draw in other people, please believe people are sitting back, snacking, eating popcorn, bringing their topics to Culture Clubb so we can discuss it at the end of the day. But it's not going to do anything for the actual beef that you have between you and that person except exacerbate it. So that's how I feel.
Same question. Miss Olivia. All right. All right. So we had the first side of this table talk about the social media aspect. I want this side of the table to talk about the child abuse aspect. What do you think? If you're a high level celebrity, let's just say, call him a high level celebrity. You're out there, you're making money, everybody knows your name. How do you think people should discipline their kids? Because what was described that Tyrese did to the 10-year-old was laid her down on her stomach, put his knee into her back, held her face down on the floor, and spanked her. So is that to you, this side of the table, child abuse? And when is too much too much?
That's a fine line asking a black person. What's
That's what I'm asking.
I mean, I can honestly, growing up, anybody can easily say it's like, I got spankings and we all can't go into the extent because our mom has always said, and if you go to school, tell the teacher that this is like, nothing happened. I fell down some steps. But, I mean, that's just, we all like, quote unquote, like we joke about black culture and getting spankings because it's just like discipline growing up. I'm be completely honest and say that I didn't know that to the extent of like what's, I guess, being, like, that's confirmed.
Alleged.
Yeah,
Alleged.
okay. Just side note, can Tyrese really get mad? It's like 2009. Like, you already have too many Fast and Furious movies, in my opinion. I mean, like, what are you really getting upset about? Let's just yeah, relax. But what's your opinion?
Black people tend to discipline their children in creative ways. I think a knee on the back is a bit much. Like, that's like, like making somebody feel like they're gonna die. So. But, yeah, and my question would be, what did the person claiming that this happened, what did they do about it in that moment? Like, what did they do to stop it? What did they do to, like, interfere if they thought, like, that was just that extreme abuse situation happened?
Okay.
I didn't realize or never really took into account that race had to do with like how parents punish people.
Yep.
But I can kind of see that. Although I was very rarely, but punished in some creative ways as well. So, but yeah, the celebrity, I don't think that should have anything to do with it, the celebrity at all. I don't know. It's like a fine line where you draw the line between what's considered healthy punishment to child abuse. Like,
I'm from a family single parent household, and my father left the situation when I was 5. But I remember vividly my father being drunk and wanting to spank me. I can't remember what I did, but I just remember he wanted to spank me, and my mother beat him up because he wanted to spank me. And ever since then, I've always been a person against watching, because I can't tell you what to do with your child, but watching people beat on their kids because they're mad. And so, and it trickles down to even pets, because I hate watching dog owners spank their dogs, because I'm just like, what the are you doing? You are a human. This is a dog. Yes, you may think we all think alike, and yes, you may think that they should know better. But at the same time, I look in disgust when I see those things. So when I know that punishment is going to ensue on a pet or on a child, I leave the area, or I just don't watch because it's none of my business. But I don't know, I cringe at that. So hearing Tyrese allegedly doing something like that just sickens me. But what do you guys as a whole think about child punishment? Like, how should you punish your child? Should it be a timeout situation, or should you grab that branch off the tree and spank the hell out of your child because you're upset that they did something?
Let's be very clear. There are a lot of different. Every one of us. That's not even the topic that we should even put to the world, because it's just gonna go on forever and ever and ever. And it's gonna go on forever because there's a socialization aspect that happens with that, especially inside of racism that happens with that as well. Black people will. Without even thought of it, because it's part of our DNA, part of our genetics, that we will socialize our children or punish our children a little bit differently than maybe our other racial counterparts because of what we've gone through via slavery.
But why is that okay?
I'm not saying that it is okay. I'm saying that this will be an hour discussion within itself.
No, we only got 8 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So there's no need to kind of put it to the table, because it's got too many different pockets to go into of how we've been socialized and how we actually exist. How we reprimand our young. How we reprimand our young, there there are studies that say that we reprimand our young the way that we do so violently because we were trying to protect them from what massa would do. There's studies that say that we protect them because we expect them to be, better than 100%. We expect them to do much more than what they are doing. So there's so many theories of how we talk about this concept that it's too much. Everybody is going to have a disagreement about this, especially when we're talking about race dynamics and socialization in how we reprimand our children. Everybody's going to have a different kind of, it's just going to get really bad.
I think in an ideal, perfect world, you would be able to discipline your children verbally without any physical type of punishment.
I think that it's really possible to do that.
I think that's an unfair statement to say that it's really possible because we are dealing with social dynamics that we are not addressing. We're dealing with a lot of history that we're not addressing of why people do what it is that they do and how they discipline for so many myriad of reasons. So that's unfair. It's very unfair.
I feel like it's a very deep issue, as you said. Anytime they're doing research on something, there's more outliers that are there that people are not taking into consideration. I remember when I was in college, I learned that there was a study that was done on black children and being spanked and showed that decreased violent behavior, whereas in other races it increased it. So there are a lot of other things that are going on as to why spanking may, and at least that study, have been more effective in decreasing violent behavior from kids versus in other races. And I think that is because there are so many other situations going on in society from the what are you able to achieve aspect, and from the masculinity prospect, and
socioeconomics.
Socioeconomics, and just like when it comes to school and what it means to get good grades and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's very, we're always going to be a race that's pushed back if we always have an excuse for our behavior based on history or our upbringing or our past.
Let's not get confused.
Excuse.
Let's not.
Hold on.
I just want to make sure that we're not calling it an excuse. Okay.
Okay, but that's what it sounds like.
But this is the thing. If you don't know what the issue is, then you can't rectify it. Then you can't remedy it. You can't sit there and say, well, somebody has a problem. Somebody has a problem walking, and we don't want to call it an excuse to straighten stuff up if they haven't been diagnosed with the appropriate issue.
So the reason why I'm saying using that word excuse is because there are many ways to discipline, and it doesn't always have to go to the physical. And I'm only speaking from my experiences, and actually from watching a lot of other people that I've grown up with. More so than not, the kids that were not spanked are doing quite well versus the kids that were spanked. And so I'm just at a point where I'm just like, where do you get off thinking that this is going to rectify someone's life because you're angry?
I'm sorry. Were you born in my household? Did you grow up in my household?
Like I said, my experiences.
Right. So were you born in my experiences? So therefore, you cannot say that you're making a very blanket.
Yeah. So
no, I'm just. What I'm just saying is.
Well, there's no reason why you cannot.
What I'm just saying is, it is very possible to not have to resort to physical.
In your experiences and what you've lived and what you know and what you have aspects and what you have resources for you, for that dynamic, not for everything, every situation, every circumstance. So don't do that.
So is it possible? Is it possible?
It's possible for someone. It is possible for someone to have gotten whoopings or spankings and things like that, and to be a perfect part of society.
Here's the thing.
Come on now.
Here's the thing. Like, I sit here as an example. Like, I always actually commend my mom. I jokingly say it, but I say, like, I wouldn't be the man I am today if my mom didn't discipline me. Like, I'm currently Mr. United States. I was like, I mean, you can't say it. I don't know. That's my opinion of it. Like, I literally commend my mother. I'm like, Mom, I would not be who I am if it wasn't for you taking such a strong hold on my life.
So then my next question to you is that all that she did was whoop you? And you just knew that you had to be Mr. United States? Or
no,
did she instill into you certain values?
But then don't isolate on the other side.
Did she instill certain values into you as well?
You're isolating that. Don't do that. You're isolating it by saying, no. You're isolating it. You're isolating it because you're saying because he did not, because he...
No, we are. We're about to finish in 3 minutes.
No, you're isolating. Don't do that. Because you're saying, oh, well, it's not because of the beatings. And he's saying, look, all of this is important.
Exactly.
And you're saying, but it's not because of the beating. So you're isolating and saying that all of this positive stuff was the reason why he is who he is today,
Olivia, go
versus
on.
realizing
It has a lot
that
No, it has a lot to do with it. It does. It
I
does.
agree.
Because I just wanted to bring that out. And I'm glad that it's been brought
my
out.
mama whooped my ass. She whooped me real good and clean. And there was some times that I said some evil shit. I was like, my bitch. I told my mother she was a bitch to her face and thought I wasn't gonna get bumped down. I got my ass whooped that day.
And
I was about 16 years old. I was fresh as hell. And she said, what? And she beat my entire ass. And guess what? I know I'm never gonna do it again. I understand why I lost my whole entire mind. And I realized that I don't care how old I am, I will always be yes ma'am, no ma'am
Exactly.
to that who is
Exactly.
Sabrina, who is my mama.
Exactly.
Because I recognized that day that it don't matter how old or how big, and I might be bigger than her, that she can whoop my whole ass.
And there's a
From here
handful-
up the street.
And there's a handful of black girls that say the same shit, say the same thing.
Yes.
And you're like, no, yeah,
So there are some family households where it works, and there are some family households where it backfires. And I'm just gonna say, as a parent, you need to know: is it working, or am I just trying to show this person that I have extreme power over them?
Again, you can't do
No, don't do
He
that.
didn't say it on
So why
camera.
we go off
He didn't say it on camera. No, you didn't. You didn't say it the way you just said it. Say that shit on camera.
So Wes,
I
what
did
you
say it
saying
on
now?
Right, as a person that cares about your safety, you might not want to say that, but you can go ahead and be bold if you want to.
All right, so this has been, maybe I should have saved this particular topic for its own episode, because me and Olivia will go toe to toe on
I
this
told
particular
you.
topic.
I told you that. At the 12-minute mark, I told you that.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And like Nene Leak said, I said what I said. Thank you guys for tuning in to Culture Clubb. Please follow everyone. All of these young individuals are doing their damn thing. We have some actors. We have some activists. We have some wominists. We have some highly intelligent folks.
I'm both an activist and womanist.
All
Thank
right,
you.
doing their thing. So definitely follow their social media platforms. Let everybody know about Culture Clubb and the fact that they should watch. Thank you for tuning in. Later.
Are, especially black gay men, you are put into this very weird space where it's fun to be the gay husband, but you really can't be sexualized. Like, you can't really talk about your boo, your man, you really can't go into details with that, because, you know, women will love to be like, yeah, that's my...
I think it's all trash, and yeah, it's just like drama for the sake of it. So as far as, I guess, written or scripted television and movies, I don't really want to go into the racial aspect. I just think for the most part, all gay men, no matter what race, are all being portrayed in the stereotypical type of way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely have a major problem with that, as being, especially as a queer actor. I want to play queer roles that aren't catering to the same race.
Some people that they were outside of that industry that we shame, but we secretly love. And so I'm glad that he said that. The next topic is from Peak Boy Princess Forever. Asks three things, okay? The overall differences between the black, brown,